everyone, welcome back to my channel. For today's video we have my monthly favourites and fails from the month of July. If you are new here, my name is Natalie. I post 2 to 3 videos a week all about makeup and beauty. If you like what you see here today, I hope you will consider subscribing before you leave. But why don't we get started? I always like to try and start these videos with my favourite channel of the month, and I do usually forget to do that. This time I did remember to mention my favourite channel of the month, but actually filmed it when I was filming my makeup haul for the month of July. I do usually film my haul and my favourite video at the same time, and because I was talking about a product that reminded me about my favourite channel, I started talking about my favourite channel even though it was my haul of the month product. I'm going to blame baby brain, but so I don't have to rehash everything that I said there, I'm basically just going to insert the clip of me from about 20 minutes ago, which you will see I'm wearing the same outfit as my haul of the month, but I am talking about my favourite channel. I can't remember how I introduced this, so just in case, my favourite channel for the month of July has been Andrea Mataliano. Now I will show you my reasons why. I have been subscribed to Andrea's channel for a good few years now, and I absolutely love her content. She is so down to earth and so relatable, so I really enjoy her videos in that respect, but she's also really thorough in a lot of the reviews and things that she does. For me, I always have certain YouTubers that I associate with certain brands, and for me, she is one that I always associate with the likes of Elf and Colourpop. So if I am ever considering a purchase from either one of those brands, I will always go to her channel first to see if she's reviewed any of the products that I'm looking at, especially when it comes to Colourpop eyeshadow palettes, because she does really good swatches. A lot of people do swatches on their arms, but what Andrea does is she swatches them on the back of her hand, and she does quite large wide swatches, so it is really good to be able to see the colour. She also tilts her hand under the light so you can kind of see the shadows from all angles, and I do really like that. And I say she is really detailed in her reviews as well, and she does have quite a lot of preferences similar to me when it comes to makeup. The only kind of difference is she has more oily skin than me, but she doesn't steer me wrong very often, so I do really enjoy her channel. I will have Andrea's channel linked in the description box below for you to check out if you haven't already. Now back to me in the present time. Hopefully the footage was correct that I could bring it over, but just in case, Andrea's channel will be linked in the description box below. Be sure to go and check her out. So I'll first of all go over my favourites for July, and then I do just have one fail. My first favourite of the month is actually a fragrance, and this is from Hugo Boss. This is The Scent. I have pretty much not worn perfume for about 18 months at this point. I do have a couple of body mists in my collection, and that's pretty much all I've been reaching for, if at all. But in the past month or so, I've been trying to reach for perfume again, and this has been my go-to one. This is a perfume that I think I got for Christmas in December 2019. I never got around to actually opening it before the kind of pandemic hit. This is my second bottle of this perfume. This is definitely one of my favourite scents. There are quite a lot of fragrances that I do like from Hugo Boss. One of my old favourites is Boss Orange, but this is definitely my new favourite. It is just such a really nice scent. I didn't think to Google its notes or anything like that, so if I remember when editing, I will stick its notes up on the screen here because I'm rubbish at describing scent. But for me, it's a really nice fresh scent, but slightly sweet, and that is definitely my personal preference, so I've been really enjoying reaching for this again. And I feel like for me, even though I had not appreciated it at the time, applying perfume is a bit of normalcy for me. The next favourite that I want to mention is a very random one, and it's this fan, which, yes, it does have pretty little cartoon princesses on it. This is a fan that my daughter got on the front of a kind of kids magazine a couple of months ago, and it's just sort of been floating around the living room. She's been using it occasionally. Since we've had this bit of a heat wave here in the UK, this fan has not left my side. We do fortunately have an electronic fan in the house, but it's not the best and it's quite intense, so sometimes when I'm just a little bit too hot, this is the perfect thing to reach for. And obviously because I can't have a fan on while filming, it is on my desk here, so I wasn't intending to mention it, but because I had just picked it up to fan myself with, I thought it was the perfect thing to mention. So yeah, a freebie kids fan has been a favourite of the month and something that I have not let go. And looking at all of the products in front of me here, I think this is my top favourite, because without this I would have been just so hot, and it's just so nice to use in this heat. You'd think I would just invest in my own one, but no, instead I'll steal my 5-year-old daughter's. Now we have a few makeup favourites. The first one is one that I do believe I have mentioned in a favourites video before, a couple of months ago. So apologies that this is a repeat, but it's something I have genuinely been loving. And it is this blush from Essence. This is the blush, and this one is in the shade Befitting. It is such a gorgeous sort of mauvey toned rosy blush, but it has the perfect level of pigmentation for my personal preference. And it is one that you can easily build up on the cheeks. And I think this was only about £2.99. So it's really affordable as well, and one I do kind of want in multiple shades. So I've been reaching for this blush quite a lot in July. Next we have this powder from Tarte, which, apologies, will be highly reflective. This is the Shape Tape Glow Powder, and this is just the mini of it, which to me is still quite a lot of product. This is something that I think I just picked up on a whim when they had a 30% off sale not that long ago, because I was kind of intrigued by it, and it is a really nice powder. I do compare it slightly to the ones from Hourglass, but I feel like it's got slightly more shimmer to it than them, but it is a really nice powder. I wasn't too sure what to do with it first because it is a glow powder, not a kind of setting powder. But the two foundations that I had in my everyday makeup drawer for July were both quite matte, and this just looked lovely over the top of them. It didn't give too much of a kind of shimmer to the skin, it just made the matte foundations more natural looking, which is my personal preference. So this ended up being a kind of surprise hit, and I'm really glad that I picked it up. And then speaking of the foundations in my everyday makeup drawer, one of them was the Estee Lauder Double Wear. This is the first full size of this foundation that I've purchased, and I already know this is one that I'm going to repurchase time and time again. I do have this in the shade 1N2 Accru, and now I've used it more frequently than the little samples I had in the past. I do feel like the shade of this is ever so slightly too deep for me. I feel like the undertone of it is really good, so because it is 1N2, perhaps I need 1N1. It means I just need to go and get shade matched again. I think the Ivory Nude is the next shade down, that perhaps that one might be a better fit. This one's still fine and I can kind of blend it out and things, but I do notice a slight difference between my face and my neck. This is the foundation that I do actually have on now, so I don't think the colour match is 100% spot on, but I absolutely love this foundation. It has such great lasting power. This is one that I have worn quite a few times under a mask this month, and it just does not budge under a mask with or without powder, so I've been absolutely loving this. Another complexion product I've been loving is this concealer from e.l.f., which appears to have started leaking, which it hasn't done before. So this is the Hydrating Camo Concealer, which has a satin finish. I have this one in the shade Light Ivory. I had forgotten how much I love this concealer. I wasn't the biggest fan of the original Camo Concealer. It was okay, but I definitely wouldn't say it was a favourite. But this one is so nice. If you've been a subscriber to my channel for a while now, you'll know that my holy grail under eye concealer is the YSL Touche Eclat. I've tried so many other concealers under my eyes and I just don't like any of them, whereas this is one I will happily use under my eyes. I don't love it quite as much as the one from YSL, but it does come pretty close. And this is one that also works really well on blemishes, so I do like that I can do multiple things with this concealer, and it is a pretty good shade match for me as well. So I've been absolutely loving this and really hoping that it doesn't continue to leak, because I don't want to have to purchase a new one yet because there's quite a lot still left in here. The next favourite is, again, another product that I have mentioned in the past in a favourites video. This is a lip balm from Pat McGrath. This is one of the sheer colour balms in the shade Blow Up. This is just a nude shade, and I've used this one quite a lot this month. Like I said earlier when talking about the fan, I do currently have an electronic fan that I've been using in my office while I've been working, and because it isn't one that oscillates, it is just a straight kind of fan on me. It has definitely dried out my lips, so this has just been sitting on my desk for the past 3 weeks now and has really helped with the dry lips, because it's just such an easy balm to throw on without the need for a mirror, and it does stay in place for quite a while, and so I feel like it just puts that protective layer on my lips. So I've been absolutely loving this, and I'm so glad that I do have a few of these in my collection. If you haven't tried the Pat McGrath lip balm formula, I would highly recommend it. Then we have a product that I know I've definitely featured in favourites before, but I don't think I've featured this exact one. This is the Benefit Goof Proof Brow Pencil, but this is in the shade 2.5. I did intend to mention this last month, and I'm pretty sure that I didn't, so that's why I'm mentioning it this month. I've been using the shade 3 for the longest time, but that was a product that I did have to work with slightly more because I had to be quite careful in going in with a light hand, whereas this one, it is the perfect level of just a neutral brow look without looking too intense. But then if I do want to press hard, I can get more of a nighttime brow, as it were. But this is just such a perfect shade for me. It just makes it so much quicker to do my brows because I'm not having to think about how hard to press. I just glide through and I'm done. So absolutely love this and really wish I tried this shade sooner. And then my final favourite of the month is this serum from Dr. Botanicals. This is the Cocoa Noir Time Reverse Facial Serum. I do believe I was actually sent this product from Dr. Botanicals for review, so I thought I'd best mention that in case I was. This, I believe, is quite an expensive product, which is why it's making me think I didn't purchase it and they did send it to me. It just took me quite a while to get around to trying it, which if you see my Shop My Stash skincare drawers, now I have a lot of skincare, so it's no surprise it takes me a long time to get around to something. This is such a nice product. It is more like an oil to me with its kind of consistency because it is quite thin and runny. But for me, this product smells absolutely fantastic. Don't tend to overly like things that are scented like cocoa butter, but this is so nice. And it is a scent that does linger. Kind of take what I say in that respect with a pinch of salt, because one of my symptoms of pregnancy at the moment is a heightened sense of smell. So I don't know if this would smell as strong to someone else, but this is a product that when I applied the night before, I can still smell it on my skin the next day until I wash my face. So I've been kind of liking that about it because it is such a nice scent. Like I said, it is quite a watery consistency, but it does soak into the skin really quickly. I can't 100% say that I've noticed any time reverse aspects with it, but for me, a lot of the time when applying skincare, if I like how it feels or I like how it smells, then it is a product that I do enjoy. Sometimes the effects of it aren't always the be all and end all for me, but yeah, this has definitely been a favourite this month. Because of it being such a thin consistency, you don't need much of this at all, which I'm glad about because I don't think I'm going to want to repurchase it at the high price point, but I'll gladly use this up while I have it. And for my one and only fail of July, it is this concealer from Aroma Beauty. This is one that I knew going into this month that I didn't really like it, but after using it for this month, I don't enjoy it at all, and it is definitely a fail. It is a really thick consistency and I feel like it is quite a finicky concealer. This is a concealer that doesn't work under the eyes for me at all because it is too thick of a consistency. I feel like it dries down quite quickly, so I end up tugging at my under eyes to blend it in. And it's one that you definitely have to do one eye at a time. I also don't find that this is a great product if I'm trying to apply it to blemishes on bare skin. I just feel like it doesn't blend in properly, and so you do definitely have to work quickly, which means it is more time consuming because rather than being able to do dots on each of my blemishes and then blend it in, I have to do a dot and then blend it and then move on, so it is quite time consuming. The only way in which I've found that this works pretty well is on top of foundation. Now for me, I don't always wear foundation when I'm putting some makeup on, especially if I'm just going on a school run or things. I'll just have a bit of concealer on. But this isn't one that I can use for that purpose, so I feel like, say, it's a bit too finicky for my purposes. I haven't quite decided yet if I'm going to declutter it from my collection because it wasn't cheap, and I say if I'm wearing foundation, I can use it. It is okay in that respect. It's an okay shade match and it does cover blemishes, but is it worth keeping it because I don't really enjoy using it and I am classing it as a fail. So it's on the chopping block in that respect, and to be honest, I have said I want to do another chopping block video sometime soon, so perhaps this one should be my initiative to do that, and then it will have its last chance. That is all my favourites and fails for the month of July, and that is it for today's video. If you did enjoy it, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you're not already. Thanks.